Hey everybody, it's Fat Frog, and today while I'm waiting for my little wyvern friends here to grow up and be big wyverns, I thought it was time to finally do what I've been threatening to do, is to make a little factory somewhere over off in this direction so that we can breed up tech parasaurs and then eat their babies and get lots of metal, element, electronics, and oil. So there's a couple things I'm going to need to be aware of when I do that. One is it's got to be close by so it's within render distance and they're actually mating and dropping eggs and all that other kind of stuff. Because if I'm not around, they're not going to lay eggs. Next thing is we have the S Plus mod here, and we have this hatchery thing which picks up the fertilized eggs, and like we've got one wyvern egg right in here, which is incubating right now. And so it can't be within range of this thing because then it'll just pick up all the eggs and not really be automated. So it's got to, we can show the range of these many of these S plus things. And so we're going to have to build it off of this way. The other thing to be concerned about is we're going to have some animal on aggressive eating the babies and harvesting all the metal and all that kind of stuff. So we don't want that battle to freak out our babies that we're actually going to raise. So I think as long as we are out of this area, we should be far enough away as to not freak those guys out. So I think we'll just put it right here. I think this is probably the perfect spot. It's a little closer to the taming pen than I wanted to, but we're not using it a lot, and it's easy enough to just build another one of those nearby. So let's get to it. Haven't really thought a ton about this, so it's going to be kind of an experiment today, which is kind of what I like to do. I like to know vaguely that there's things out there that I can do, and then just experiment after that. So let me grab a few walls, and we'll just start with about this amount of stuff. So let's go over here and let's start building and see what I can come up with. I don't know. I might need to bring some guys over to clear up some of this area. Actually, it's pretty flat and not with too many shrubs and rocks. So we'll just start right here. And I think I'm going to try to build it without too many walls to start out with, to just see how much materials we can gather, how many more tech animals we might have to raise up, and that sort of thing. So that's going to be pretty interesting. I think that should do it for right now. Okay, so this is going to be real fun, I think, actually. If I am quite honest with myself, I'm hoping that this is going to be a pretty fun activity. So we're going to do... yeah, we'll do that. I think I want to get some ramps also. Now I'm going to build some ceilings. I don't think this is necessary. I think we could probably just have them lay eggs right on the bottom here and everything would be just fine. But I'm going to elevate them up here onto these platforms and try to position them in a way that the eggs will fall onto the ground. Look a little bit more professional that way. Let me just wall off the rest of this area here, and I think I'll just put one. I didn't bring it, so let's go get a ramp, and then I've got some doorways and stuff too to bring over. Man, I have a slow character. One reason I have kind of a slow character is because I'm afraid of just mindlessly running off of cliffs, which I am kind of a klutz and very capable of doing. So I want some of those guys back. Okay, so here's our doors. And let's see, do I have any ramps around? Let's see. I do not have ramps. Do I want to go Adobe? Let's go full Adobe ramp here. We'll build up a bunch of them. I only need, I think, one to start out with here. So we'll just grab that guy. And then we're going to need our parasaurs. So let's just start with one male. Why do I have all these? Why are they all showing up male? Oh, that's right. I had a bunch of babies. I don't want the... Okay, what do I have here? 20. Okay, so male and female. We'll start out with those guys. That should be just fine. The other thing we're going to have to do is run out, either have a bunch of fires or something, or run some electricity out here and put up some air conditioners, that's the route that I'm going to go. I think I'm going to do 2 ceilings wide. Just give myself a little bit more room. I was trying to kind of conserve on space, but I really don't need to. So let's do that. And I can always change things around here. There we go. All right, so let's release our parasaurs. I'm going to have to... Whoa. I'm going to have to... what am I going to say here? Let's get this guy out. Do I have any saddles? No. The other thing I'm going to have to change is I'm going to have to change my single player settings here from PvE to PvP. Otherwise, my guy's not going to eat the babies. Unfortunately, there's no real way, I think, to see if there's saddles on these guys. Let's just let's grab a bunch of them. I know about half of them have saddles, so I'll eventually throw. I don't want to make any more parasaur saddles. Yeah, I think I will move that. We're going to need all these guys out of the cryopods eventually anyway, so I might as well start tossing them out here. There's one. Okay, cool. So at least with one now I can get this one in position. And this is a female, I'm assuming. Yeah, a female. Walk up there. Can you not get up there? Oh, sure. How stupid is that? Okay, well, we can put in another ramp here in a little while. But for right now, so we'll get you in position, back you up as far as possible here. So you look okay still. There we go. So let's grab your saddle right away. And then we got, this is our male, that's a female, and here's our male. So let's grab this dude, put a saddle on you. Oh, come on. There we go. The other thing is I'll have to make all these guys passive so they don't freak out either if something comes to attack us. There we go. Back you up. You don't have to be all the way backed up here, but you'll just look more professional if everybody is lined up here. Okay. Whoa, hey, you're pushing me around. Stop that. All right, so behavior, we are at passive, but we're going to disable ally looking, and then we're going to behavior, enable mating, and let's see, where behavior just left for some reason. There we go. Behavior, disable ally looking, behavior, yeah, attack my target, no. So we're going to go passive on you, and then back to behavior and enable mating, and we're mating. Okay. So I think I'm going to go craft up a few more foundations and all that other stuff so I can build a little bit bigger area and the electric cables and stuff that I'm going to need in order to power some air conditioners out here. We've made some progress over here. We've got a couple air conditioners set up. I think Scorched Earth might be just hot enough to incubate parasaur eggs anyway. We've got an ugly looking cable over here. We're going to hide that later. I just wanted to leave it up for right now, just kind of snaking around. So let's add a little bit more to this little operation over here. Okay, we've got our materials over here in this parasaur. So let's do this, get a few more of these foundations put out here. Unfortunately, all these parasaurs that are over there are all males. Oops, I don't want that one over there. So they're not very useful to us. I believe I just have one male up there, and I think it should be able to, as they say, service all those females. So that's pretty good. Okay, so that's set. Let's get one ramp for right now, and I wanted to get a door, the double doors, and that should be good just to get ourselves a start over here, and then we'll start laying some eggs and whatnot. So let's put this ramp back up. I tore it down for some reason. Okay, and then I'm going to do, well, I forgot the walls, but I wanted to put the door over here. So let's get a door over here going. There we go. And then I'm going to put one more air conditioner down right about here. That should be good. All right, let's start having these ladies mate. Actually, let's try, well, let's see if this one will mate on the end here. So let's enable mating over here. And then we'll enable, or you're just waiting. So we got 13 minutes before you can mate. But you're mating, okay, cool. And so which one's our male? This one over here is our male. So is our male going to reach this far? I don't know. I moved the male, so we'll find out in a little while. But are you going to mate? Yep, you're going to mate. So I think we're all right as far as that goes. I have a couple of eggs that were already laid. So let's drop those down, and then actually we'll see. This one's that one's incubating, so that's going to take 27 minutes. And I believe our incubation rate is now set to double normal. And that's something that I'm going to have to experiment with too, is just to see, you know, how much monkeying around I need to do with the mating interval in order for it to make sense here. So we're 30% mated. Judging by the way the poop is falling here, I think we're going to be in pretty good shape. This one is probably a little too far away. So let's back that up as much as possible there. Okay, we're stuck there. All right. So that should be good. So they will drop down here. So I want to get this wolf going over here. I've got extra wolves. Let's see, which one do I want to get over here? Let's grab this one. And we're going to put you on aggressive. And so let's go aggressive. So we changed from PvE. We unchecked the PvE box in single player. So this wolf should attack an unclaimed baby over here. And that's going to be relatively soon. So while we're doing that, I want to get the raptor out. So one thing that now that I've checked off PvE, now I have a cryo sickness timer on here, so I have to be more careful. And let's get these guys, enable mating on these guys as well. Okay. So one thing I didn't really check is to see if, one thing that's going to affect our output here is how is the mating interval between the species here. So once we get these guys mated, we'll be able to check and see what the difference is. Raptor just laid an egg. I picked it up. So this mating interval is just not going to work on single player. So we're at 13 hours, 27 minutes approximately on this one. And our parasaur, which, you know, was a few minutes ago, is 17 hours, 6 minutes. So it would have probably made much more sense to raise up raptors versus parasaurs, although I haven't seen like how much of the materials that we can harvest out of that. So how much metal, electronics, etc. That you can harvest off of a dead parasaur versus a dead raptor. So we're going to have to adjust that mating interval because, you know, on single player, it's going to be every once a week or something that this is going to work. I don't have single player settings set on. It's kind of a weird situation, but I'm using like server settings if that makes sense. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and adjust that mating interval to, I don't know, it's probably, I think we're at 2 or a half right now. So I think we're probably going to have to at least quadruple it in order to get some reasonable rates out here. So we're going to continue to do that. We're probably going to have to change this a little bit as far as like our incubation speed. So we're at 2. I think I'm going to go to 4. And so that's going to change these numbers hopefully. So I'm going to log off and do that. So we're still messing around with our rates. We're going to have this guy's going to hatch out. We're going to see if the wolf actually attacks it. In the meantime, we've been doing some construction here. We put in a gate. We're going to put in another level over here. Okay, so we got 14 seconds. So we want to find a good balance here on single player that isn't too cheaty, that makes sense, that makes it like, okay, this was worthwhile, but it's just not like going to start raining metal or something like that. So let's see what happens. Okay, so the guys over here ate it. So we don't have any metal here, and we don't have any metal in... Oh, wait a sec. So I think I got this thing figured out now. I was wondering if I was going to have to resort to using like this S Plus hatchery to pick up these eggs and then just drop a whole bunch of them after they get incubated, and then have creature eat it, because the like the saber-tooth was killing and eating the corpses of the babies, but it did not pick up any of the resources, whereas this dude did. So I had my resources set back to resource collection set to just at 1. And so this one just ate a baby, and it got 1 scrap metal, 2 electronics, 2 element, and then just 1 oil. So that's pretty good. I had to change the mating interval to go pretty darn low. So I think we're at 0.1 right now. I think is probably a good balance. I might increase it a little bit more. So we've got our eggs are automatically incubating here because we've got the air conditioners. These are unfertilized eggs, of course, that they're dropping anyway. I turned off the hatchery so that it won't pick up eggs anymore, because I do want this to be like fully automated and not have to be, take too much maintenance over here. So this guy here is I'm starting to level him up with weight. So he's got 612, so he'll be able to eat a lot of babies before before we have any issues with weight. These guys are over here. I am starting to collect their eggs and hatch them out elsewhere to see if I can get more females and get a little bit more breeding that way. I don't need all these... if I can get around here. I don't need all these male parasaurs over here, so we're going to eliminate these guys. Get rid of those. And I forget with these guys if... we get more stuff this way. So 10, 6, 8 with a hatchet. And of course, I do have a Mastercraft pick, so that might help. 10, 6, 8. I think it was better with the hatchet. Try that again. Man, you are just jiggling all over the place. Okay, so I think the hatchet was better. I don't know. I'll look at the numbers a little later. Okay, so we got another egg has dropped down. Or no, that's the same egg as before. So we'll have some more breeding here. I think we'll come back and show you the results after, I don't know, maybe an hour or two. So I've been really busy while I'm conducting this experiment. We've got wyverns raising up. I've got a couple of baby wolves over here. We've got a little raptor that's growing up. So we can put it in part of the egg production. But going back over here, and of course this is a super elaborate building. You don't even need a building in order to do this. I just thought it was a fun project. But anyway, so we've got this lady over here, and I tested out the saber-tooth because I thought I misspoke because I think we tried a wolf. But anyway, the saber-tooth didn't work on that either. And this bearded lady here stopped working, so it was able to eat, I believe, 2 baby parasaurs or something like that anyway. And we got resources, and then it just stopped working. So it just stopped collecting the metal element, etc. So I'm not sure what's up with that. I'm going to keep experimenting with it. I think for right now, we're going to turn this hatchery back on to pick up the eggs. For the mating interval, we settled on 0.05, I think. So I turned off, there's a little checkbox for single player settings, which make things easier. And I checked that off. So this was kind of like a regular server setting. Anyway. So, like, this one's got 23 minutes left to go here. This one's got an hour to go. That's the male. Let's see. This one is not set up to mate for whatever reason. I can harvest all kinds of sand and stuff, like right here. Okay, there we go. So, let's enable mating on this one. And this one is a half an hour. So, I think that's pretty reasonable. for being on single player. Maybe not quite enough. I've turned my harvest rates back up to 2. I usually run 2 or 3 depending upon what I'm doing. So I think this is going to give us all the electronics that we need, some of the metal that we need, and some of the oil. So anyway, it was a fun project. I'm glad I went through with it. But like I said, we're going to do a little bit more of experimentation. If you have any ideas or have experience doing that and want to drop some suggestions down in the comments, always love to hear those. But otherwise, that's going to do it for today. Hope you enjoyed it. If you have, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching.